Cam, Cam, Brian, and William. Known these young men since they were about 5 or 6 years old, but I want them to introduce you. And thank you, everybody in my audience, for Uncle Ward Speaks, where you'll hear the perspective of um, two 21-year-olds and one 24-year-old young man speaking. And introduce yourself, starting with Cam.
Hello, everybody. My name is Cameron Stewart. I've known the Griffins for ever at this point, and serve at Awana at church with them.
And Brian.
My name is Brian Brooks. Pretty much known the Griffins forever. I think second grade. It's iffy, but I was young, and I know them from church. We grew up in children's ministry.
Wonderful. And William.
My name William Griffin. I'm the actually the son of Uncle Ward Speaks, and I've been knowing Kim basically, since a kid, just growing up with Kim, and then I've been knowing B since first grade, so that's like a brother for real. So both of them my brothers, but yeah, yeah,
And I've known you for a long time too, William.
I think so, something like that.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny. Y'all said that. I'm kind of curious. What any one of y'all could jump in on this. What you think kept your friendship strong? Because nowadays, fellas don't stay together anymore, man, or they separate and they're not cool. But y'all been tight forever, and each one of y'all can give me a perspective of what created that. Because a lot of times we don't see that anymore. What you think created that tightness?
I can go first. I feel like honestly, what first created was communication. Like honestly, a lot of people, especially nowadays, people don't know how to communicate. They don't be blunt. They just go and try to beat around the bush, or don't be real with a person. But as long as you communicate and really express how you feel to somebody, then that creates that connection to where you can understand and grow a bond with somebody through that. But yeah.
Okay, cool. You can.
I think genuine um, authenticness, like really laughter. Um, I don't want to be around you if you feel like you got to be somebody else around me.
Good.
And like if there's something that's bugging me, I'll let you know. If there's something that's bothering you, I would like you to tell me. But also just creating laugh. Like me and Will probably didn't connect for close for about 10 years. That's probably the last time I saw him aside from passing, through church.
Right.
With high school and college and all that. But being back in Awana, all we do is laugh and just have a good time. So it's always created that bond.
So it looks like y'all didn't even leave, basically, the way your friendship is now.
Exactly.
That's cool. Brian, go for it. How about you?
I think it's the same thing, just communication and transparency. And I think that's the most important part because, we're not always going to see each other in person, but as long as everybody knows, like, it's not intended to not be just going off grid or nothing, but as long as everybody just in the frame.
And so I think, and y'all make some good point. I think true friendship too is also you could say and be transparent and not be afraid that I don't want to say the wrong thing because I don't want because I can see, especially with Cam, I could see Cam like saying what's right on his mind. Be sit back, I think, and like how to survey. And what, B, stop me when you correct me if I'm wrong, but B is probably the one the more laid back of all y'all. What y'all think? Yeah. Let me ask William. You think B is the most laid back of all three of y'all?
He definitely he laid back, but I feel like B's one of those people. If you around B, you know what I'm saying, that he'll be more vocal and he'll talk to you and everything. But he's not gonna just talk to anybody. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely he has his discernment with that.
Nowadays, especially now, with everything going on, people dealing with a lot of stuff. I'm kind of curious. Like, what do y'all think because people need to know, especially people your age right now, because this age, like 21, 24, you're still trying to find yourself in different things. What do you think, like, what y'all dealing with? What y'all think is one of the biggest challenges y'all dealing with right now? And any one of you
Uh,
can start.
I believe expectation. I believe that a lot of people, um, especially our age, we see so many young people making it as millionaires that they're like, oh, well, every 20 to 21, 24-year old, 25-year old should be making that much. Um, and people don't really enjoy life. People don't. I think that it's been lost. We see a lot of influencers make it big, so we believe that we have to live up to that standard, and we forget that everybody has their own life. Um, and we always forget how much time we actually have, like to enjoy your 20s, enjoy your teens, enjoy college, because once that time is gone, you ain't getting, you're not getting it back.
Right. So,
And it's funny you say that because sometime in college, I think one of the things that we miss in college sometimes is the challenge of networking and getting to know other people. Because we think it's just the books, and like you said, they're kind of fun. So that's interesting that you said that. William?
uh, I feel like a challenge that a lot of people, especially my age or like around teenagers and everything, will be like probably social media, and that piggies off of what Ken was talking about too. Because
Hmm.
like with social media, you can be influenced, just seeing people's lifestyles or seeing people how they look off of social media, which first off is fake. Most of the time it is fake. Like they go and share everything on social media to make themselves look good, but at the end of the day, you never know what somebody really going through. But like, honestly, like I feel like social media plays a big part because honestly, like even me, I can be influenced at times, either by music or just talking to people or trying to be like somebody that's completely not me. You know what I'm saying? So I just say social media.
So you said social media. You think social media is programmed to actually do that? Like you said, mess with the mind or get you hooked and everything else?
Of course, because everything's about the likes or the follows. You know what I'm saying? So whatever the trend is or whatever that everybody's trying to really get hip to, then they'll use social media to try to show a false narrative of themselves. To really get to that point of being that top, creator or everything like that. So that's how I feel like it works and moves.
Interesting. Brian, what you think?
I think it's a combination of everything, expectation and social media. But I just think over everything, I just think it's so many different ways to do so many different things, and people just get caught up on what everybody else is doing and not trying to percolate, not trying to like get in their own lane and start doing whatever they are, guess more that complements them the best in their skill set. So people start struggling with just trying to get into other people's lanes.
And B, you're in college right now, correct?
Yes.
So what's the challenges as far as focus and you in college? Like, do you find any challenges in there right now, like that you deal with that maybe that you could tell somebody your age what they're dealing with because they could say, "Wow, I'm not alone." Like he's dealing with that too. So what do you think one of your biggest challenges right now in college is?
I think one of my biggest challenges is procrastination because, I just think more than anything, I just think I like the challenge of just being like, I'm under the gun to get a deadline in. So I think it's just the pressure, but I think I've gotten better at it. And one of the main things was just finding what works for me. So instead of me waiting, I can just set a time for myself, like, hey, let me see if I can get this done within 4 or 5 hours. And that's how I start beating it. So I'll just say find something that works for you and just try to go through trial and error with it.
I like that, man. So you basically created your almost like learning strategy, and the ones that didn't work, and the ones that work. And that's how. Do you think you beat procrastination now? You think that now that you are much better at achieving your goals?
I wouldn't say I'm completely got rid of it, but I say I got better with it. So I use my time wisely, but sometimes it just slip back in from time to time.
Well, I like that. And I'm kind of curious because Cam, you finished school. Stephen, was it Stephen F. Austin? Am I right about that?
Yes, Stephen Wolf.
And with B going through, like, he's in the midst of it and you finished. Tell me, what was your, like, what did you do? What was to help you graduate? Did you have a procrastination problem also, or what was happening in college at that time too?
Oh, there was definitely times that I procrastinated.
Oh, okay.
I think everybody goes through it. You know, it's. I don't feel like studying it right now. I don't feel like, writing this essay. So I'm gonna just try and buzzer beater it. You know, Kobe in the fourth quarter. We're gonna try and knock it down. So, my only thing that I did that really helped me succeed was I prioritized my mental and spiritual health, because it became overwhelming at times, especially when you're going through your sophomore and junior year. The amount of coursework that you have is ramped up probably more than your freshman year, and having those days on the weekend where I'm outside or I'm just fishing or golfing, not doing the regular college thing because I was an athlete, so I couldn't. Just going outside and touching grass and stepping away from the computer, picking up a book, a physical book that's not based on what I'm studying, but something I would be interested in. Just always trying to take my mind off of what I'm doing and try to focus on something else always helped me. And whenever it came back to doing my studies, I was able to be more focused, more locked in. I was able to knock out a whole lot more work done.
And I'm glad you said that, man, because they really, honestly, a lot of kids need to hear that, man, because a lot of people, even their first year of college, drop. Like that's like, I forgot the percentage, but it's very high. And what do you see? Why do you see that happening? Like the first year, they just burn out after 1 year. What do you see, and what do you think that any advice you can give somebody who's going in the midst of college right now that you can help them with?
I think the reason why I see that is because they have an expectation of I'm going to go party and I'm off on my own and my parents can't tell me nothing. While that's true, you still have a responsibility because that debt they will come knocking. Either way, you're gonna pay that student loan.
Who's they?
The government. We talk about this all the time.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so it's. I think they have an expectation of I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna just be out there with my friends. I'm gonna make new friends and just go party. Yeah, that may be the case, but you still got to get your work done. You still have a responsibility, not just to yourself, but if there's people helping you out, if you're a first generation high school graduate or college, or you're going to be a first generation college graduate, then the whole family's rooting for you. And not to put pressure on anybody, but it's just you gotta realize where you're at truly, because the people who do party their whole way through college, even when they graduate, they're still behind the 8 ball because it's like, well, dang, what do I want to do now? Or, where can I prioritize? They don't learn how to prioritize their life because they didn't take those 4 years serious. So yeah, prioritize, I'm not saying go be a square, like definitely go hang out with friends. Go outside, be around those people to learn those experiences, but you also understand, okay, very quickly you learn what crowd to be with and what crowd not to be with very fast.
And didn't you find it amazing, especially both of y'all, did y'all find it amazing as soon as you get to college, they treated you like an adult? Like you thought that, immediately you're a man, whether you were 17, 18, they treated you like a man. So you were completely responsible for everything. And did that freedom cost a little bit, didn't it?
Oh, for sure.
So I was kind of curious about that. William, I'm curious with you, different tangent. Now, you're a self-learner, you're a lifelong learner. What right now, for the person, you're not in school, but you're still educating yourself in different ways. Can you explain to my audience, because you're in a different perspective. So in the audience, how are you educating? How are you doing things a little differently? Because let's realize, and Cam said it earlier, there are a lot of people, young people who are actually um, are well-to-do businessmen at a young age, and they may not have finished college or may not have gone to college. But how are you educating yourself in your way?
Honestly, how I'm educating myself is I'm trying to be more of an entrepreneur. So when it comes with that, is learn about business and learn about character and how to run a business. Like I'm actually reading a devotion right now, which is teaching me how to be a leader, not just a leader in business, but a leader in Christ too. And
Love it.
honestly, like I'm just trying to go and literally what I'm trying to do is wholesale real estate. And within that, I'm trying to go and build like a business to where I can go and consistently do that, and then use that much of my income to go and build another business and to, and create like an empire in a way. But just honestly, just the main thing is learn the basics right now. Just learning how to really run a business and what it takes and how God can really lead me to be there.
You said empire. When you use that word empire, it means you're not thinking small, you're thinking big.
Mm-hmm.
And fellas, honestly, and all three of y'all can come in on this. What do y'all have big dreams? Like, what's your big dream? Like, I like when he said empire because empire says that I don't want just anything. I want something big. So, fellas, and I'll start with Brian. Brian, what's the big thing that your big dream that you want to have? And and also Cam, y'all can get in it. William, any one of y'all could just get in there. What big dreams that y'all have that you think that, yo, when you gonna know when I make it? Finish this sentence. As a matter of fact, you know that I made it because read first. You know I made it
because I think I'll probably be a thought leader in consulting. Because right now I'm doing data analytics, and that explains how, like, it gives you different approaches on how to solve problems that you may have. So I would say for a company, they just want to figure out how to grow more money or expand in a different market. I'll be the person that would be like, all right, these are the steps you would take, or these are the markets you would pursue. So I think I want to do consulting and then grow it from there.
now once you make it big, be are we buying mom and dad a big house? Are you buying you a big house and a car? Or what? I mean, are we dreaming now? We ain't just talking like little. So go ahead, B. We're gonna continue this, man. So now that you make, are you like, you know what, mom and dad, all right, I'm good with things. Now go for it. What would you do?
Yeah, I think mom and dad are all right, but we always talk about how just be like, if it's anything, I'll probably get it for them. So yeah,
I like that. I like that, man. My man. Okay, Cam. And Cam is kind of thrifty, so I'm kind of seeing what Cam going.
I say I'll make it. You know, I made it when the Porsche is whipping. That's a fact. But
Oh, what? What was that?
when I'm whipping in the Porsche, that's a fact.
Okay.
Right on.
That's definitely
All right.
one.
You have
But
what
no,
kind of Porsche we talking?
Porsche 911 Turbo S with the red inside, black
Oh, you
outside.
already
You know?
got this already set.
Oh,
Wow.
absolutely, absolutely. You gotta have a vision. You can't just say I just want one thing. That's general. You gotta be specific.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, like when I'm able to just wake up on my own and not have to worry about going and making somebody else rich, but doing something for myself.
Woo.
Um, I think that's one of the biggest things for me. Because starting off, especially when you fresh out of college, you trying to find your way. Hey, sometimes you need to go learn under somebody, but you take those skills and you apply them on the side to make yourself rich, not somebody else rich.
Man, you realize how many grown men 40, 50 years old don't even think that way, man. That was a little nugget right there, man. Yeah. You growing up before my eyes. William, you finished that sentence now.
I know I made it is when I'm in Turks and Caicos with Kevin Durant. Once, once I'm there with KD, you know what I'm saying? That that's how y'all know. But also, when everybody around me is comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I go and I'm gonna work so hard and be to that position where in order for you to be in that position to be comfortable, you got to be uncomfortable. So like, I'm just want to, basically put myself to where me and everybody around me be comfortable. But yeah,
I love that, and I like that saying to be comfortable about being uncomfortable. And let me ask you a question. I'm gonna start with B. B. What do you think? And be real. What do you think your biggest? Because we all know that fear of failure is actually one of the biggest distractions and deterrents of our reaching our goals. Do you feel that you have a fear of failure at certain times? And I'm asking you, Brian, first. I think Brian may have froze. Go ahead, Cam. What do you think?
Um, oh, for sure. Even being just as an athlete, fear of failure was always looming over me. But I think my biggest power was able to turn that fear into fuel. And instead of saying I'm scared of reaching the bottom, I'm saying I just turn it into, more fuel for the fire to make sure, even if I am struggling or whatever, I want to do my best to make sure I don't fail or disappoint myself, if you will.
I like that. And you know what? What would you tell a young man who is like young, especially like the teenager, about fear of failure? What would you tell him how he can be able to overcome that? And then William, I want you to throw that answer that too.
Don't be afraid of messing up or asking questions. There are people who are 80 years old who are still learning, and the fastest way to fail is to act like you have it all figured out, because you don't, especially at that age. Learn as much as you can. Learn about the job or whatever it is that you're going into, sport. Learn how the legends moved, even in finance. T. Boone Pickens, or I'm sorry, I
Yep,
forget his
that's his
name.
name.
Yeah, T. Boone Pickens.
Billionaire.
Learn how they move, even though the BP oil crisis, but we ain't gonna talk about all that. But learn how, if you're playing basketball, learn about Jordan, Kobe, whoever your favorite player is, model their game, and then go from there. That's the fastest way to success. But the fastest way to failure is to act like you have it figured out.
Love that answer. William, go for it. What do you think? What do you say?
honestly, how I feel is the fastest way to get past failure is you got to do it. Like in order for you to get and succeed in something, you have to take that risk to do it. How do you think all these successful people became successful? They made and created ideas and did different practices and different things to try to be in that position, and they failed. They messed up, and they looked at what they did and they learned from it. And the next time they did it, they improved and they continued to improve until they got to that position to where they perfected. So you have to fail in order to really perfect something that you're really trying to do.
Man, I like that, man. I really like that answer too. Brian, glad you're back on, Brian. We missed you. They were getting a little teary eyed. Where's Brian? Where's Brian? No, but now Brian, go for it, man. What do you think, far as that's concerned, like the fear of failure? Like, what do you deal with that sometime? And
Oh,
also, go ahead.
I was like, oh, for sure. Growing up, it'll just be like I wouldn't give it my all because I would always be scared of what happened if I do give my all and it don't work out. So I wouldn't put all my effort into it, but I'll still be good with it. But I'll also know that I know I could have did better. So yeah, but I would also say just break it down to small pieces, and then just do it that way. So like it's not a big task you're living up to. You're just going one step at a time and checking it out.
Our teens really need to hear that too. I'm telling our younger kids need to hear that. Do y'all actually have anybody that y'all know that was younger than y'all? And I'm glad you said that. All of y'all really said some really good things on that. Y'all have any teens or anybody y'all actually are role models for? Are y'all looking for that, or because they need a lot of teens are so influenced? And you mentioned it earlier, William and Cam, about social media and everything else. Are y'all role models to anybody? Are y'all seeking to be a role model to somebody? And any one of y'all could jump in on this one. I won't even pick one of y'all could just jump in on this one.
I have a little nephew. Oh, go ahead. What you got?
Oh, okay. I was just saying, honestly, at times I feel like I may not see myself as a role model, but I know people either younger or older, they do see what I do or anything I do as far as like post or how I move and everything. And I feel like within that, like I feel like that just has to go with carrying yourself, like how you show yourself to everybody else. Because like just like me being as a Awana leader at the church, like the little kids, when we go and even though we're just going and playing games with them, they still see your every move because you're the leader and who they listening to. So it's like little things like that. I feel like in a way you really a role model to everybody that that's around you. But yeah,
I like that. Cam?
Yeah, I got two little nephews. One is going into his sophomore year in high school, and the other one is still kind of young. Second grade. I'm bad on because I don't remember. But yeah. I always try to mentor my nephews. I always, especially the one in high school. I say, be yourself. Don't feel pressured that you have to do anything. People are gonna say that, you need to be doing this and this and this, or he's playing football, and I'm like, look, even if you don't make varsity, guess what? You still got love. So you got love from all of us. So like, go out there, do your thing. Now don't just lay down. Like put up a fight. But I always tell them like, life is gonna go by fast. You gotta enjoy the ride. So just buckle up and just try to enjoy it as much as possible.
And Brian, what you say? Thank you. Good answer. I like that, Cam. Brian.
I don't have anybody in like specific that I'm mentoring, but I always like if there's anybody younger than me, I would always impart knowledge and just give them guidance to where I've been. So like say for instance, I see younger kids, they just struggling with something, I would always be like, I'll just go in and help them or just like show them the way through it, let them figure it out for themselves. Because I know I would have wanted somebody to do the same for me.
And one of the reasons I asked that question also, 'cause I'm noticing a lot being a school teacher and everything else, and I think y'all noticing a lot of our kids getting younger and younger and getting more and more stressed. I mean, do y'all see that? Like y'all see a lot of these kids are really anxiety's like taking over like crazy, especially our teenagers. Why do y'all think that is? Like any one of y'all, give me your perspective because I want to know because like school years coming up and everything, and I want to know, like really, what do y'all see that maybe I'm not even seeing, but y'all see it? Why these kids are really checking out, basically mentally, on a lot of things? And any one of y'all could jump in on this one.
I'll go. So one of the main things I feel like it plays back to what me and Kim and B was saying earlier about social media and about how like everybody goes and tries to compare themselves to somebody else. Mm-hmm. And like I feel like a lot of people don't really understand, and I struggle with this too. Like it was to a point where I was depressed and I was struggling with like addictions like smoking and everything. Like I was really going through a lot of those type of issues, and I feel like one of the main things I had to realize is that everybody got their own lane and their own path to really go on, and the only way for you to figure out your path or which door to choose is to really just rely on God, because a lot of times we like to go and try to do it ourselves and try to open the door ourselves and pick our own path, but at the end of the day it's going to lead us right back to the same door that we was in the first door because we're going on the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, I feel like it's just not, a lot of people get stressed over comparing themselves. Just really just stay in your own lane can really change a lot about yourself.
Thank you. Anybody else want to jump in on that one?
Yeah, I think Will kind of nailed it on the head. It's a lot of comparison, but for some reason, kids want to be grown nowadays. And like 13, 14, 15, all the way up to 17. They think it's cool to, do what grown people do. I can attest, it's not cool. It's not fun being a grown up. Taxes, you're getting your paycheck robbed by Uncle Sam. It's not fun. You gotta wake up and go to work every day. Now I love my job. I'm gonna get it wrong, but
good answer.
But it's like you think that you're a grown up and you still live in your parents' house. Like you don't have anything to pay for. If you truly want to know how it feels to be a grown up, go on your own. And I have friends that have moved out when they're 17, 18, and they just wanted to be grown. And they were able to do it. My mom said, you can stay here as long as you like, as long as you got a job. I said, say no more. I'll stack my bread up while I can. Especially with the apartment prices and housing prices right now. It's just crazy. So I think people want to grow up too fast. I'm 24 and I still act like a kid. Mr. Griffin and Will, y'all see it. I'll still run around like I'm a kid or crack up with y'all like I'm a kid. That's just because, having childlike faith, I think that keeps me being a kid. Because like, when we were kids, we knew that mom and pops had it held down. And not every kid had that, that upbringing.
Right.
But I think as a child of God, you got to be like, all right, you know what? Even if the ship is going down, I know God got me, and I think that's where I've had my most success, especially my peace.
Good, Brian. Got any perspective on that?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think it's a combination of everything from comparison to just like the spiritual aspect of it, and I also think it has something to do with community too, because I know when you surround yourself by good people, that also plays into the fact that hey, you got these people around you to support you and help you, and I think when you're alone in it, I just think that you feel like everything's on you, and then you'll probably just fold under and you'll succumb to whatever circumstances you're facing.
And you said something also, because all three of you have, especially strong moms who are very strong, and will speak and say whatever they have to say on their mind, which is cool. And I love that. And I think that because some of you, and I remember when y'all was younger, y'all always try to be cool, like try to be, like y'all try to be hard and y'all middle class, but it's kind of but like you can't be hard and got a TV in your room and your parents then, yo, what's up? But a lot of our young teenagers are struggling with that. If you think about, for real, on a serious note, you said basically the imposter syndrome. They're trying to be something they're not, and it's like, how do you think that you or us as individuals can be a mentor, and even in an indirect way, to help them to not be that way or to think that way? Anybody want to throw a perspective on that?
I think for me, it was more like my mom was a cop, so I had no reason to try and act like I was a gangster or a thug, because she took me around South Dallas in those tough areas. She was like, "You want to be a gangster? You want to do that? All right, hop out there." I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'm good." I never like tried to play that image of like being that, because I just never, like, I guess, aspired to be like that.
Right.
Also, like, just who cares? Like, honestly, who cares? You grow up in a nice neighborhood. You're blessed. You got food on your table. I don't understand why the struggle has become the new popular wave. Like, oh, I got it out the mud. I get it, because that's what all the rappers talk about. But if you came from money, you made it happen. Okay, I'm not gonna knock you for it. You were blessed with your circumstances. I had a 2-parent house home. I was good. Food anytime I needed it. It was all good. I had no reason to be like, oh no, I had to wake up and cook ramen noodles on a cold stove. Like, no, it didn't make any sense. It never appealed to me to do that. So I think my biggest piece of advice is, who cares? Live your life. If you're not gonna do it, somebody else is, and you don't want somebody else living your comfortable life.
I like that. Look at you, boy. You growing up before my eyes, man. Again. Anybody else want to jump in on that? I like that, man. It's just
Honestly, when it comes to being yourself, I feel like at the end of the day, like you're gonna eventually gonna have to reveal your true self no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go, you want to try and play hard and put yourself out there, and then once it's really time to play hard and really be hard, and you get yourself in that situation to where it's life and death, then your real self is gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like at the end of the day, just it's not even worth going through all that. Just be your real self and see what your real self can really lead you to. But yeah.
and Brian, uh, I can't. And you could correct me, but I've never seen you try to be an imposter. You always been the like I am who I am. I don't care what people think. Is that true, or am I making an assumption on that?
No, I think it's true for the most part because I mean, you're just gonna be who you are, so you might as well just embrace it and do it to the fullest. Because imagine you try to act fake, and then people just come around you for the fake reasons. And then what happens when you do reveal your true self? And then it's like, where's everybody gonna be? Because everybody was already coming around you for the wrong image. So, I mean, if you show your true image, you're gonna have true friends who are attracted to you for the right reasons, and they'll be around you for the right reasons.
Yeah, cause I couldn't imagine y'all being hard, and soon I could see y'all try to be hard, and as soon as you hear a gunshot, y'all start running. Like I can see y'all, but y'all always been your, and I like that y'all yourselves. I'm curious, do y'all have some who's the, and I know the answer to some of you, but who's the one person that you look up to the most? Cam, I don't need to answer that question, but go ahead and
My
and
mom.
why? Not and don't just give me mom and why.
Oh, mom, hands down. If I always tell mom, if you write a book, fictional or non-fictional, it's your bestseller because the story that you'd be able to tell uh, would be it would be painful to hear about, but also so uplifting because through so many hurdles, and it just kept looking like hurdle after hurdle, or just somebody changing on her over and over and over again, fake friend after fake friend, um, and she continued to stay strong on her faith. That's how me and my brother have our faith now. That's who we learned from. Um, so regardless, if I can see my mom make it through, I was like, okay. And she's been through some of the most grittiest situations, and she still said, "I'm gonna rely on God. I'm gonna keep smiling. I'm gonna keep laughing, even though I'm tired. I got boys to feed. Um, I didn't have, maybe $100 to my name, but I'm gonna make something work. These boys still got to eat because they football players and throwers. They got to eat big to stay big." And so she always made a way, and that's how I have my hustle mentality. It's like I don't care if I'm down to my last $5. I'm gonna put that $5 in my gas tank, and I'm gonna make something work. So if she can make it, especially with her faith, I know I can make it with mine.
I got to comment on that real quick on that, Cam, since I've known you for so long. You were always comfortable in your skin because a lot of young men and even older was afraid that people might think I'm a mama's boy and everything else. You never ever had that fear. Like you always was comfortable about that. And I'm being serious. So what do you say with young men who sometimes they really still want to be tight with their mom, but they're like, I don't know, I want my friends to think that I'm a mama's boy. I don't want them to think I'm soft or whatever. Can you relate to that? Because you far from being soft or anything. And I want you to tell not the young men honestly, like who struggle with that. What can you say to them?
It kind of goes back to what I said before. Who cares? Because the thing is, your mama held you in her belly and breaking her back for 9 months. That's a special bond that y'all have created. Um, and then the happiness that comes with it. It just when you come out the womb and when she's taking care of you, it's a different level of commitment that a mom has, especially to carrying a baby. and then having to take care of that baby is so stressful. You know, moms have passed away. You know, it's just a lot that ties into it, and you should feel attached to your mom because you were literally attached to your mom. You were growing. You were a little seedling growing in her belly for 9 months. You should feel attached. I do. I can attest. You know, saying, hey, people were saying, "Oh, you soft because you a mama's boy." So what? Who cares? You ain't gonna touch me. You ain't gonna try me because, you know, I don't, like you said, I don't have to be hard. My size speaks for itself. So, but like at the same time, it's no need to be like, no, I'm gonna move away from my mom because everybody gonna think, you know, I'm fake or I'm soft. At the end of the day, mama gonna be there for you. The mother boy is not. When it gets real shaky, mama gonna always be there for you. So, yeah.
I love that, man. I just had to ask that. Brian, who do you think you look up to? Who's that? Your role model? Who do you think?
Um, I think I am a mama's boy, but I'd also have to say my dad because I think that's like the man I'd always aspire to be because, you know, from a young age we'll go out and help other people, like just drive around helping other family members out when they needed it. And I think I get like my service, like my gift of service to from him. I like community service, and I just see his work ethic and see how hard he works. And he always tries to be the best. So I think that inspires me to work hard and do the best I can.
I like that, B. And yeah, I like that, man. Thanks, man. Thanks for sharing, both of y'all. William, who is your role model and why?
Is it just one person, or can I say multiple people?
You can say multiple. Yep. If you want to say multiple people, it's up to you.
Okay. First, I'm gonna say my parents. You know, both of them. I can't just put one. You know what I'm saying? Because they both showed, you know, to work hard and putting the time and the effort to actually really go out and really try to do what you really want to do, and also to show also the failures and how we can be at, you know, at a certain position where maybe at the bottom, but you can work your way up to get to that, you know, each level to get to the top. And I say another person will be Pastor Evans because you know, it's just him and how just listening to him and growing up listening to him and all the different nuggets and different, you know, Bible verses and different sayings and quotes that he's given us to where we can really, you know, grow our life and with Christ. I feel like that helped me, you know, as a role model. And then the last one I say is his name Coach Wade. Coach Wade was my basketball coach when I was younger, and Coach Wade I kind of look at it as like my godfather because he was, you know, really like another like father figure, you know what I'm saying? And that even to this day he still be checking up on me and asking and, you know, still really be, you know, looking after me. So yeah.
Coach Ray's a great man too. He really, really is. I really mean it. Really great man. Got a question for y'all. Think on this one. You ready? If you could go back a few years, what would you do different and why? I know you're still young, but think about it. If you can go back just a few years, let's say 4 or 5 years, what would you do differently and why? This time we're going to start off with Brian. Brian, what would you think about? What would you do? You think you would do differently, even though that would make you probably 17, 4 or 5 years, 17?
I think I would. I think I would take school more seriously, just because of the fact that I know I didn't know it back then, but I know now it's more important of like the habits you start to create. And I think school was where I knew I could skate by just studying the night before and get a B on the test, or just being able to squeeze out like just barely. So I think if I would have gone back, I think I would have taken school more seriously, and then I think that would have translated into other aspects.
Okay, thank you, B. William.
So if I could tell myself back then when I was in high school, because I was kind of wild in high school, but well, if I could tell myself something, it would probably be really honestly just to love yourself. Cause like I will always get caught up in, because I went to like a smaller school, so everybody knew me because I played sports and I was just, kind of like the popular guy and everything. And I feel like during that time I was caught up within that, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
really like, just feeling, everybody around me. But once, after I graduated, I don't even talk to those people no more. So it's like I feel like honestly I had to really learn to love myself because like at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like no matter what you go through in life, you got yourself, you got your family, and you got God with you. You know what I'm saying? And once you love yourself, that's gonna really like you're gonna learn a lot more about yourself. Like you're gonna learn a lot more about how you go about things. You're gonna learn discernment. You're gonna be more observant when it comes to people around you because you're gonna know how you are. So if you know how you are, then you're gonna know what people you want to attract. Because I remember my pops told me a quote saying that success is something that you be the person you attract. So it's like I feel like you just gotta go and really attract, that type of person that you want to be in order to be successful. But yeah.
Thank you. Cam. Y'all throwing some, by the way, y'all got to tell you, y'all throwing some really good. And I'm so impressed by y'all. Go ahead, Cam.
It'd be a little bit different because I'd still be in college. The good old days, huh? Before the back started hurting. No, if I could go back to about 20 years old, prepare for COVID, that's one thing. But two, learn how to network. At a like, don't be afraid at networking events. Not to say I didn't learn how to network in college, but I mostly was just talking to kids in other majors or other professors just to learn about maybe the market or how to invest or something like that. But don't be afraid to walk into an office to just say, hey, I just want to pick brains. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and get uncomfortable. Don't be so comfortable to where everything is passing you by. Learn to be uncomfortable.
Like that. I'm going to ask one final question on this, and I want you to, it's about leadership. And you always hear this saying, well, I want you to explain and see if y'all agree with the statement. If you're the smartest person in your group, find another group. Let's start with William first. If you do you agree or not agree with that, and tell me why not?
I 100% agree. Because first off, if you the smartest person in your group, then how are you learning? You know what I'm saying? Honestly, like you all, even when you're successful, even when you're at the top, you should always still want to learn. You know what I'm saying? You should always still want to grow and learn something new. Cause there's so many things in the world that you could really learn that you never learned before that can really change your interest and give you a whole new perspective. So I feel like honestly, like the main thing is just just to learn that.
Love that. Go ahead, Cam. Go for it. What do you feel about that statement?
I agree 100% as well. Even if if you're the top guy, like Will said, if you're the top guy in your group, then there's nobody you can learn from. So if you make mistakes, you gotta look to yourself to try and change what you did. Therefore, or whereas if you're in a group where somebody else is better than you at something that you're struggling in, then you can learn directly. You don't have to go pay or try and seek them out. All you got to do is make a phone call or shoot them a text message. Like if Will is popping off in real estate, I'm gonna shoot him. I'm gonna shoot him a call like, yo, what we doing? How you getting it happen? Or how you making it happen? Versus he like, Cam, I can't get my curve down. Like, how can I play golf? Maybe it doesn't have to be in a certain aspect of like, okay, I'm better than you at this, but we're matched here. Everybody can, sprinkle a little bit of seeds somewhere in everybody's life. Spiritual, mental, physical, recreational, everybody can help everybody.
Thank you. Brian.
I 100% agree. Just because of the fact, going back to what Cam said, if you're the smartest person in the group, you can't learn from nobody. So I think once you're I wouldn't say like dumbness, but like once you see other people have their specializations and other people has more experience or knowledge than what you have, I think everybody starts learning from that way. Because it's sometimes people could be strong where you're weak at, and you can be strong where somebody else is weak at. I think it's just like just a circle of knowledge and it just keeps going around.
Thank you, B. I want to say one thing. I want to and thank y'all. I want and final one final thing I want y'all to do is, we're gonna have an audience, grown ups, and we're gonna have young kids also who watch. I want each one of y'all just in a minute or less say exactly what you think that would really a takeaway from this. Like, what do you think that kids need to know, adults need to know about you? Like, because sometimes some of you might be struggling with the different adults or the kids, and just tell me what do you think that honestly, and it could 30 seconds or less. Go for it, William. What do you think that a takeaway from this could be?
A takeaway from this can be is look over your life, look at not just my life or anybody else's lives, look over your life and recognize what changes or what things that you feel like can benefit your life through Christ, because at the end of the day, God is the main source. So anything that you may feel like is a good idea or any path that you may feel like is going right, it's not going to be nothing unless God is included. And I also feel like you have to really go and plan out and strategize what you really want to do in life. Because honestly, like if you don't have a plan or don't have a goal or don't at least have ideas that you can go and look forward to, then that plan or anything you do in life is not gonna mean nothing because you don't have an end goal. So I feel like just really just setting out a plan and setting out a path or what you feel like God will want you to lead you to where you the position that you want to be in.
Thank you, Cam. Thank you.
Um, wisdom is wisdom and knowledge is probably the most important thing you can learn while you're young. But the thing is, wisdom isn't given to you. You learn wisdom by going through things. So when you pray and ask God for wisdom or patience, just know you asked the two hardest prayers that a Christian could ask. Because right after that, God's like, bet, say no more. I'm gonna see how much you trust me. Because when you become wise or when you're learning wisdom, you learn that it's just trusting God through everything and be diligent. Don't, and when we say diligent, or when I say diligent, we say it as something lightly. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be diligent. I'm gonna do it every day. No, true biblical diligence is doing something to the highest level over and over and over again until you get it right, or until you have it, like second nature. That's what true biblical wisdom is. That's what Solomon meant by wisdom or diligence. Not just doing it, once, twice a day, or 7 times a week, but you did it the same way. If you're truly trying to make a change and you truly want to be diligent and make something happen in your life, you have to do it to the highest level over and over again.
Absolutely. Great answer. Brian.
What was the question I had timed out?
Okay, it's just like what's a takeaway that you can even talk to an adult or a young young person who's looking at our show right now, and what can you take in your perspective that they a takeaway from you that you think an insight that they might could follow.
I would say first and foremost, just building a relationship with God and starting. I would say building off the right foundation with the Bible and making it Christ focused because I think the most important thing is Jesus and how he and like the gospel. So I'd say start with the Bible and then work your way up from there because I'd say once you figure everything out, or you don't even have to figure everything out, but once you start aligning yourself with God, I think that's when everything starts becoming clear on what you need to do or how you should approach these situations that you're going through. So I'll say just starting off with a good foundation, and I'll say work your way up from there wherever that leads you.
But you know what? I am so thankful with all y'all. Y'all really, really have just grown up seriously, and I really like what I'm seeing. And I know that my audience is also because we hear so many different things about our young men that's not always in a positive light, and you show them that there are young men in a positive light who can be role models to other people. I
And,
am
can I say one more thing too?
yes,
I was gonna say also out there, you know what I'm saying. I'm not just gonna speak for myself. I'm pretty sure Cam and B too. Y'all trying to connect, like even if like just networking or communicating or anything. We'll probably put our socials in the bio or anything like that. But you can contact us, you know, either with networking or either if you just need prayer or you know anything like that. You can just connect with us, so we'll be one of those people to be there for you. And yeah.
but thank you,
All right.
thank you. Y'all give each other a hand clap. Y'all really did great, honestly. And you know what? And we might be more to come. I like it. I like it. Might come on another show. The next show might be maybe I might ask you about relationships with girls and how
Uh-oh.
y'all doing. Because honestly, our young men need to find that out also. All right, because that might be our next show, and y'all could discuss how y'all feel about relationships or non-relationships and different things y'all go through. So I want to say thank you, each and every one of you, and I really, really appreciate your time. I really, y'all been great. Thank you.
My last nugget. My last nugget. Everybody should pick up The Richest Man Who Ever Lived by Stephen K. Scott. Everybody should read that book. That's a fact.
I love that book, one of my favorite books. And explain, just tell the audience real quick, just who the greatest man, the richest man that ever lived was.
King Solomon. It's not Mansa Musa. King
Thank you.
Solomon.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Ward.
See y'all later. Uncle Ward speaks, and the young man speaks also. Love y'all. And assignments to go. This podcast can definitely be seen on assignments to go. Don't forget that, as you can see on the bottom screen, assignments to go. Thank you.